So hello everyone and good evening. Thank you for joining us for this evening webinar, AI Startup in the Middle East, Leading Smart City Innovation. So basically this webinar will be focusing in Edge AI and with bridging with the AI and the startup ecosystem. I will begin with by explaining quickly the agenda and introducing later on PNY as organizer of this webinar. So I'll be welcoming you guys in a few words and introducing myself. Then I will leave it to Alexander from NVIDIA Inception. Then I'm glad to have Sajid Kamal, CTO of Data Center presenter. And we will end up with SmartCo and DESX as startups for this presentation. At the end, we'll have a Q&A session. So please write down your question in the chat, and I will be reverting back to the speakers at the end. A quick presentation of myself. So I'm a marketing program manager at PNY. I'm handling the Edge AI IoT portfolio for the company, and I have strong interest also in immersive technologies, XR, VR, and ER. A quick presentation of PNY. So PNY is a company working in the field of GPUs and AI and located in Bordeaux, France. Our PNY EMEA HQ is there. We have a big part of our sales marketing team over there and logistics center. And we have several offices all over the world. So PNY EMEA has a couple of offices in Europe, in Middle East, and in Asia, covering all those markets and addressing those markets actually. So we are historically working on the graphics industry with NVIDIA Quadro, but we are also working in HPC with NVIDIA Tesla, for example, and of course on EI. And on EI, we are covering the full range of the market from the data center with NVIDIA DGX and more complex architecture like NVIDIA pod architecture to the edge, working with NVIDIA EGX platform with our own PNY EGX server, and focusing also more and more on the inference part. So we are working with mostly with the Jetson platform to deliver inference at the edge. I'll be talking a little bit about Jetson later on in this presentation. So our markets, so we are tackling a lot of markets over there in the AI field. We are more and more working in the retail and the access control, hazard detection, and airport safety detection. And with NVIDIA, we are also providing solution for autonomous car, which is the NVIDIA EGX Drive solution. Of course, we have also other verticals like medical imaging, defense, and smart warehousing. Just to underline two of those use cases. So we are more and more working on retail. So the idea is to allow shops or restaurants to be more and more cashless and to optimize the queue, the customer queuing. So basically we have camera linked to JSON boxes that will identify what you picked up. So, and will allow you to check out really quickly. This is the future basically of retail. And we are implementing this kind of solution in Europe and hopefully in the future in the Middle East. Of course, we have face recognition. So we have solution running in facility, allowing personnel with clearance to access some places or some localization in facilities using face recognition. But also we have some use cases in traffic transportation system. We are tackling also other application in the smart city vertical. So we have smart lighting, smart parking, traffic management, but also everything related to public services like smart waste collection and smart water management, and so on and so forth. So A big part of this is deployed based on Jetson platform. So we are offering all the Jetson platform from the Nano, which is the entry level, to the most powerful one, which is the EGX Xavier. In Middle East, we are partnering with Advanced Integration to deliver solution really focusing in smart cities. So the idea is to allow easy deployment, cost-effective units to deploy on the field, to tackle public services like road safety, like water management, as I said, and to improve at the end the quality of residency in the city. So this is actually the aim, I guess, that we are all sharing in our work for smart cities. So basically, this is it. This is my quick presentation. I hope it was clear for all of you. So I will leave it to Alexander now, and the presentation will be going like this one. So Alexander will leave it also later on to Sajat till we arrive to the Q&A session. Thank you very much, and the stage is yours, Alexander.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay, let's go ahead and do it just to make sure that you see my screen.
Yes, we do.
Excellent. All right, so I hope that all of you know NVIDIA. At least you know it as a gaming brand, right? The NVIDIA GPUs, but the thing is, not so many people still know, or not everyone for sure knows, that we are actually a computing platform company, and not just, let's say, a chip maker or a gaming company. And a platform computing company actually means that we are tackling the big problems, the big challenges in the world, using what GPUs do best, and essentially using the massive computing power that the GPUs allow you to leverage to solve the big issues in the various verticals, starting from autonomous driving to the nuclear energy, to medical imaging, certainly the fraud detection, fintech, and so on. So how do we essentially come to that point where the GPUs start to be used very successfully across all those domains? These days, certainly in the last 2 to 3 years, we have seen an explosion in data, and if anything, we will be generating more and more data, both at the edge and especially at the edge, as the sensors are becoming more accurate, as the models are becoming more sophisticated, and if you're coming from the NLP space, that is and the natural language processing space, that is where it's most obvious. And with all that complexity, the big question is, how do we catch up with this in terms of first of all, in terms of the processing power, as the Moore's law is flattening. So we're not seeing, and we probably won't be seeing in the future, an adequate increase in the CPU computing power. So the CPUs alone can simply not catch up with that explosion of the data. While a combination of a CPU and a GPU, thanks to the innovation in the GPU area, can actually help us get to that point where we'll be able to successfully tackle and successfully use and utilize all that data. Now, if you look at this slide, you'll be asking yourself, well, where is the latest Volta? Is the previous generation of the GPUs? But if I would put a benchmark for the Ampere GPUs here, you probably won't see anything on the Kepler and Maxwell side. So the innovation on the pure raw compute power when it comes to GPU, NVIDIA GPUs, has certainly been staggering in the last years. But that's not, once again, that's not it's not just the story of the raw power of GPU. So what NVIDIA is all about is actually the GPU, the processing power, and the ecosystem. The cornerstone, in my opinion, of the success of NVIDIA is that we have we have built that ecosystem that is based on the unified computing architecture, which is CUDA. When it comes with these days more than 18 USAs that the great teams within NVIDIA are working on and essentially giving and putting into the heads of all those developers. And it totally makes sense that we are seeing the numbers of developers, on CUDA developers, skyrocketing, and this number is not going to stop anytime soon. The growth, I mean, and it's crucial part of it, of the whole ecosystem are those AI startups, which at the moment we have 7,500. If you would ask me 2 or 3 years ago, when I just started with the NVIDIA Inception team, that we would be at the point in 2021 where we would have 7,500, soon 8,000 startups. I wouldn't believe it, but the startups are actually those companies that are leveraging media resources, the GPUs, and the actual platform solution, the SDKs and our tools, in the way that I would say is the most innovative when we're counting the speed of innovation, right? Not only the excellence of the solution, but bringing those machine learning and deep learning based innovation to the market. And that's where the NVIDIA Inception comes in. So we are essentially a platform, or you can also think of us as I guess a virtual accelerator, or just a group of people who are globally all over the world helping startups in their AI journey by doing a few things. Those are really simple, but combined together, they're really powerful. Starting with sharing our expertise and giving the startups the access to our Deep Learning Institute trainings for free. So which is otherwise for let's say for the bigger institutions or developers that will be fee. We want the startups to get access to the trainings essentially as simple as possible in their own leisure. By giving the guidance to the startups on all of those, on all the NVIDIA SDKs and then the tools, right? We essentially build the foundation for the startups to start their essentially from scratch and go to the implementation in literally a few weeks. Now, speaking of the access to the technology, right, and the technological assistance, the other aspect of Inception is the preferential pricing on the GPU. So if you want to start experimenting, and if you're ready to having taking those courses, having familiarized yourself with NVIDIA platform solution, if you want to go and start actually playing and working with the GPUs, either in the cloud or physically, that is, once again, that's another pillar of Inception. That's where we're helping you as well in that regard. One more thing is the go-to-market. So the next logical step would be essentially for us to help you guys promote your solutions, give you a little bit more visibility than you would otherwise, by promoting you through the NVIDIA GTC conference, by inviting you to the NVIDIA event like this one, for example. And last but not least, of course, the venture connection and the VC, which is always these days, right? What I would say all of the startups would need at some point, sooner or later. So that is in short, in brief, that is what NVIDIA Inception does. I just want to give you a few examples now, perhaps of all those benefits that I've been speaking about. Just want to make sure, guys, that you hear me, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, perfect. I was, it was getting so silent, and I didn't see any chat, any messages on chat. So I was thinking that maybe it's my connection. So yeah, a few examples of actually of those benefits as applied to the members of the Inception program. So one example that I love personally is a Chinese computer vision startup, now I would say scale up already. They the Melon, you could have heard about them. They're really big in the retail space, and they started as with Inception. They started as a rather small and modest startup, and they actually started with a deep learning institute, and we helped them train their whole team of software engineers, and that was the trampoline that brought them essentially to where they are, working with the world's largest retailers and being extremely successful. Now, another benefit of the program is the access to the cloud resources, cloud compute resources. We work with we partner with at the moment AWS and Oracle. Soon to be announced the partnership with other cloud providers. And through the partnership of NVIDIA with the CSPs, startups can essentially get those startups for whom cloud is is an option. And part of their business model, the startups could get all those crowd credits for the GPU compute, and once again start innovating or start training their models, doing the inference in the cloud essentially from day one. Now, another thing, something that we do more and more these days is promoting our startups either through the GDC conference. Actually, the GDC conference this year was I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. And there we had a special track for the startups. So we asked the guys to shoot the video and present themselves in a concise and engaging way, and then we would put those decks with videos to the main page of the NVIDIA Inception, the GDC. This way, the startups got a lot of publicity and visibility. We also have a special Inception blog. So whenever the startup reaches a certain level of maturity, and we would like to tell that story of a joint success of how NVIDIA worked with a startup and the exciting innovation the startup produces, we would do a special blog story. As you can see in the slide, this is it's actually a blog on a great startup that's based in Dubai and in Detroit. It's called Dirk. They have an amazing traffic monitoring solution. Yeah, a few words about the funding and the VC introductions. Apart from the fact that NVIDIA is investing in some of the let's say top of the crop Inception members, we also have a large network of the VCs with whom we, in the near future, this was also something that was announced at the GDC, the NVIDIA VC Alliance. We would like to, and we're working towards it, so it's definitely happening, just a matter of time, to bring our startups in touch with all those VCs all over the world who are in the essentially in the NVIDIA partnership program. So it's going to be an amazing benefit very, very soon. So we're talking about a few months potentially here. And as the startups scale, right? As the startups grow, like Melon and like a lot of actually startups that you'll see here on that slide, the things that we do with them is also scales, right? We have a special tier for the scale ups, for the more mature members of the Inception program, which we call Premier, and with them we do let's say a lot more. We get personal, close and personal, in the sense of going to the market, in the sense of doing the introductions to some of our internal and vertical focus team of the programs, like for example Metropolis. NVIDIA Metropolis is an application framework and a program within NVIDIA for the smart city, and the startups, among others, active in the smart city area. And it is essentially a framework in the sense that startups would start working with NVIDIA hardware, right? It can be the Jetson, so essentially from the edge all the way to the servers with the EGX servers, build their solutions on the CUDA architecture, adopt the Metropolis stack, which ranges from the pre-trained models all the way to the tools like the Transfer Learning Toolkit, like the Deep Stream SDK for the video analytics, And then those who go with us all the way, they will eventually find themselves at this coveted place, which is which you can see there under the Metropolis certified partners and certified applications, and we would work with those startups as the solution providers, as this great slide shows. So this is the whole Metropolis ecosystem of the NVIDIA and the AI startups are right there at the top among the independent software vendors. So you might also find a few names there among those ISVs with whom NVIDIA is essentially going together, going to the market. Now, yeah, this is the end of my presentation, but it's just in a way, it's just the beginning of the story for one of our panelists, for Avi, who will share his history of success in a short while. But for now, thank you very much for your attention, for your time, and I would probably stop sharing my screen here and would welcome Sajjad.
Hello everybody. Thank you, Alex. Excited to be complimenting the great work you do at NVIDIA. If you guys can hear and see me, drop me a yay on the chat. I'm guessing you can hear me. All right. Thanks, Constant. All right. So I'll just get started. Well, first of all, my name is Sajjad. I'm the CTO of the CAS Center. And I'll tell you briefly about the work we do at the CAS Center. But before I get into that, I'm going to take you down a bit of the history lane and my work with the Jetsons. And I wish it was the flying cars or the flying saucers, but it was the NVIDIA kind. So, you know, before my role at the CAS Center, I actually co-founded a company called Alum Health. Alum Health makes radiology accessible to everybody. So if you look at the screen, what we do is we connect with hospitals and clinics, and we build workflow software for radiologists. But if you look at our icon in the middle, that's actually a hardware box powered by NVIDIA. So, and we connect facilities. We've got an intuitive workflow. We provide storage. And to show you, and we provide easy image manipulation. But to show you actually how our box looks like, you know, that's a little box. We transmit images. So that's actually, so we've got, you know, we've got our software suite called Alum Health Connect. We've got the tablet-based Alum Box that's running on an Android. However, when we look at the Alum Box Pro and Alum Hub Enterprise, they're actually running NVIDIA GPUs where we can actually deploy medical imaging inferences on edge. And if you look at our work so far today, we've serviced over 1 million patients. And you know, over 1 million reports have been generated. And you actually heard Alex talk about the NVIDIA Inception program. So we were part of it fairly early on. If I hone into the date, in the whole machine learning world, we were like dinosaurs. So this is 2015. And so I actually got to work with the first version of the Jetson TX1. So this is NVIDIA through the Inception program that we were part of, profiling our work and talking about how Alum Health is using GPUs to transform healthcare delivery in the developing world. And what you literally see is our office in Kabul, Afghanistan, where we're literally providing care at the edges. So this is actually what I've co-founded Alum Health in 2015. So I've had a long journey and experience, you know, working with here. So you can talk. So we got the Jetson TX1 dev kit. That's our production devices were actually built with the Jetson TX1 dev kits. So this is my history and the background I come from. You know, my last company being Alum Health and teleradiology. And then prior to that, I built a company in health insurance analytics out of Dubai, which was acquired. We did not use any NVIDIA chipsets or technologies there. CUDA was a little ahead of its times back then. So I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life. Now, coming back to my work at the CAS Center, and this is a little less entrepreneurial and more driven by the revolution and the change that's particularly happening in the Middle East. So the CAS Center is the innovation initiatives of Munsha'at. And Munsha'at is the SME authority in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And for those of you tuning in from other parts of the world, it's essentially the economic regulator, right? It's the entity that's responsible for your licensing, for your business regulation and registration and all the bureaucracy. So a couple of years ago, Munsha'at took a very innovative step and said, we ought to create innovation centers, specifically when we look at the next generation of businesses that are going to be set up. Chances are they're going to use exponential technologies like AI, data analysis, and things. So Munsha'at set off to set up the first innovation center in the kingdom. We got started in Khobar, which is in the Eastern Province. And so the Eastern Province, to add a bit more color, is the home of perhaps the largest company in the world, which is Aramco, the oil producing organization in Saudi Arabia. So our innovation center got started there, and on the right side you'll see our focus was really AI and data science, and the vision was towards the kingdom's 2030 vision that the Crown Prince has put together, and it's created. And our particular work was around creating innovative startups and SME and supporting SMEs to tune up their efficiencies. So we really act as an enabling center. We provide support to the beneficiaries in our kingdom. Following our start in Khobar in 2019, in 2020, we actually opened up our second innovation center for Munsha'at in Riyadh. And the focus in Riyadh has been Internet of Things and cybersecurity. That being said, there's very close collaboration when you look at these technologies, right? So you've got IoT paired with AI, and any solution that you look into today has a strong element of cybersecurity to it as well. So that's sort of like our intro. Now, what is the vision? So in Arabic, our centers are called Markaz Dhaka, in English, the CAS centers. Here is really our vision and ambition, right? So we primarily provide community activation by a variety of support services. We're here for SMEs, in terms of how they could be expanding and utilizing some of the technologies that we're talking about today, edge compute and more, and also empowering entrepreneurs to be able to build next generation companies from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So how do we do this? So we've got a variety of programs that we run. It all begins by our consultations. So we have a team of experts, including myself, where we provide very hands-on technical help. We've got teams of data scientists, ML engineers, software engineers, analysts, business analysts, where we sit together with beneficiaries as they're dreaming about their ideas to see how we can, empower them with the potential of adopting some of these technologies. So it begins with that. So then as a result, we also run workshops. We do boot camps that are a bit more extended. We have challenges that I will talk to you about that we work with in partnership with the various entities. We have something called Road Dhaka, which literally translates to the Pioneers Program, which is an extended program similar to what you would find in incubators and accelerators, where we work with a select group of companies for a longer period of time, and where we provide them more personalized support. We've got a content library online on our web platform where companies can come in and view some of the specialized content that we've put together. And then we also do a number of meetups. So we do meetups such as the co-founders meetup, where we do, we host the local Pi Data community at our centers. So we're very supportive of the ecosystem of how you can enable, the revolution that's happening in machine learning in the Middle East. So, across our time, we've done, over 200 events. SMEs have adopted over 150 solutions. We've done over 220 hours of consulting. We've supported 40 companies in our Pioneers program. We've participated and been part of over 30 events. We've run 70 boot camps, and boot camps are more intense. And then we've done over 150 hands-on workshops. So here you'll actually, at the bottom, be able to see some of the companies we've supported. Murni has gone on to raise several $1 million, one of the very successful companies in providing, transportation support and logistics support to the kingdom, and many more. I've only had space to put a couple of examples, but once you visit our website, which is thecat.sa, you'll see a number of the companies that we've supported. I mentioned we run challenges, so we've got our own programs as well. However, when you look at artificial intelligence, it's really being able to see how AI could be applied in the various aspects of our lives that touches us every day, and that can improve our lives. And what better way to do that than partner up with some of the government ministries who are responsible for the well-being of the citizens and residents. So we started off with a partnership with the Ministry of Health, where we ran a healthcare challenge, where we've had over 400 participants participate, many using AI applications in this space. We've had a partnership with the Ministry of Human Resources, Ministry of Transport. We've done various other challenges with the Ministry of Commerce. We've done hackathons in computer vision. We've done the retail sector challenges. So we partnered up with various organizations in the kingdom to partner and co-lead initiatives together across various AI initiatives. I mentioned we've got the Cal Library that has had over 15,000 impressions. It includes many useful resources like booklets, articles, various infographics that we've put together. We've got recorded workshops, the workshops that I talk about, we put that there. We also put data sets that are available to the public if they were to run various experiments or apply them to their solutions as well. Plus, you get to see examples of some of the work our startups are doing, and also some promising opportunities in the AI space. We're extremely grateful to have a very supportive community of global experts that help us along the way. People like Dr. Faisal from University of California, Dr. Asil, who's an expert in AI, Dr. Hamoud, who's a professor at the King Saud University, and also Hussein Al-Salman, who provides and extends help on some of our efforts and support to our beneficiaries. And we wouldn't be able to do the work we do without support of partners. And today we're talking in the same stage as NVIDIA. So I mean, there's so much opportunity in the AI space in the Middle East, but we can only accomplish this mission when we work with partners. So through partners, we create environments to provide advisory support for our startups. We've been highly encouraging our startups to apply to the Inception program, and we hope some of them make it. So we're excited to provide that support. And similar to some of the work Alex was describing, we NVIDIA has a global scope. We have a local scope. So in the kingdom, we have a strong network of investors, all the way from angel investors and growth stage capital, to be able to provide support for the startups that provide. Our partners sponsor various initiatives that we provide. And ultimately, we work with partners to cooperate to achieve the common goals that we have. And we believe leading up to 2030, there's going to be incredible AI-based solutions that come out on the market. So we've got a wide range of partners, whether it's the ministries, a number of highly successful startups in the kingdom, who we partner with. So that's sort of an overview of the work we do in the center. My personal opinion is it's an innovative program for a government entity to provide to startups. I mean, I know when I was starting up, we didn't have a lot of support resources like this. So I think it's a really good time to be an entrepreneur when you've got social support programs. Oh, and did I caveat saying we don't take any equity. There are no charges. You walk into our facilities, either physical or virtual, and avail all of our support services and the support of our team completely complimentary. So it's a social support program, for Munshaat, the regulatory authority. Before I end, I actually just wanted to give you a couple of examples of, and actually show you the videos and concepts of some of the work our startups have been doing. So I'll start off with this startup. So this is not even a high-tech startup. So this was actually a female's gym who was providing karate lessons. So post-COVID, they realized they had to, or in the middle of COVID, they realized they had to shut down their gym and move to virtual classes. So this is a computer vision-based platform that they've built to provide remote karate coaching. So you can see the PoseNet-based model that provides assistance and recommendations of how well you're doing in your karate poses. So it really uses computer vision to be able to assist virtual learning karate. This is another company that was building a hardware solution. This was oops, I'm not sure if you could hear the audio, but there was a loud audio.
I can't hear the audio at all. I just see the video.
Same here.
So the audio it's just a beep. It's just a beep. There's no like voiceover or anything. It's just a really loud beep. So the solution basically is it's a really loud beep. So I'm just going to pause it. So basically the solution is it's a dash camera connected to a GPU. So if you fall asleep in the car, if your face is missing in the sense, this hardware actually just gives you a beep. So it's a really loud beep that just happens. So just to wake you up, think about it like the most annoying alarm clock. So it's a camera on the dashboard that looks for driver inattentiveness, and it's an accessory that could just be put on top of the dashboard. So one of our startups has been building this to commercialize this, and imagine it'll be a dashboard-based camera that will be put there. So this is another startup that's using GPUs actually I'll just give you an explanation. So it's an HR startup where candidates fill up their resumes, fill up their profile, and it uses machine learning to be able to extract and scrape from the web potential candidates. So as a company, you update your job profile, and it scrapes through various technologies, and it finds requisite the relevant candidates who would be suited for your role. And it also identifies, if a candidate applies, like, how suitably, fit for them they would be. So these are three examples of, just a few snapshot of the many startups that we have who are working with, let's call it in like a bigger umbrella, like smart city-based solutions, right? And they're using machine learning and AI. And, I think our journey is just beginning, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to share some of the good work we're doing. And let us know if you want to collaborate and if you've got anything exciting to work on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sajjad. Brilliant presentation. Thank you. So now it's I'm glad to introduce Ravi from SmartCo, who will be presenting his startup and some of his work.
Hi, I'm Ravi. I'm CEO and co-founder of SmartCo. We are based in Malta, India, and Taiwan. We specialize in video analytics and AIoT devices. We provide backbone for smart city projects. So our core expertise is AI pipelines on resource consent devices, particularly NVIDIA Jetson platforms. And our core focus is on ITMS, safety and security and retail analytics. Okay, thanks. So we offer full turnkey solutions for smart city and smart nation initiatives. We provide AI cameras, we provide the sensors, we provide the PLCs, and make the smart city initiative going. So not only we provide the hardware, we also provide the backend infrastructure to accumulate the data, apply machine learning, and provide insights on the data accumulated. So SmartCo build these AIoT devices using NVIDIA Jetson platforms. We build various platforms using the Nano, the TX2NX, NX, and the AGX. I will show you some of the platforms we develop, and I will explain where the platforms are used in smart cities and what are the differences and how the customers choose right platform in the smart city initiatives or smart retail applications and make the project going. So this is our Cerberus Nx, and it's based on Jetson Nano. It's a small box used in many retail stores for video analytics. This box leverages DeepStream. It's an NVIDIA video analytics SDK. The box uses existing RTSP cameras in the stores, process the video, apply deep learning, get insights. This is one of our popular box, and many startups in NVIDIA Inception program use this box to apply deep learning on video data. So this is our basic box. It's very popular with the retail applications, and this is our Cerberus AGX box. This box is popular with smart city initiatives. It's a very powerful GPU that supports around 30 cameras. It has DLA accelerators, which accelerates deep learning models along with the GPU and VPI. So, this is Phoenix. Phoenix is our most popular platform for smart city initiatives. It has 4G. It can be optionally fitted with 5G, and it is supported by NX. So, and finally, this is our smart camera. Smart camera can be fitted with Nano, TX2NX, NX. This is our newest device that's coming into the market in a couple of weeks. And the, okay, all right. Okay, it's coming into the market in a couple of weeks. And the customers approaches us with their problems, whether they want to do a smart city initiative, whether they want to implement video analytics in a factory or in a shopping mall, etc. Then we sit with the customer and help them to understand what would be the right edge node for them to process the video efficiently. We take them through all of our platforms. We understand what would be the how many models the customer would like to run, etc. Right. Okay. So just a second. Mohammed, I do. All right. So the platforms, the Jetson platforms are widely used in, just a second. So the Jetson platform-based boxes are widely used in smart cities, retail applications, and hospitals. And the Jetson devices are typically deployed in clusters. And SmartCow provides our fleet tracker. Fleet tracker is an Jetson fleet management solution developed by SmartCow. And the fleet management fleet tracker allows the administrators of those devices to remotely control those devices, push updates, push firmware updates, maintain the security of the devices, and maintain the ML pipeline for the devices. So these are some of the features of the fleet tracker. Fleet tracker can retrieve metadata from the devices such as the system metrics, geolocation, and it can push updates, maintain the SSH keys, maintain the do the password management and the certificate management, and it can retrieve both the deep learning metrics and the system metrics to a central platform, provide predictive maintenance, and also it can accumulate all the data from the edge devices of the inferred video and apply machine learning and provide more insightful information. So typically a customer would approach us to start a project. It could be a smart city initiative, it could be a retail application, it could be a smart hospital application, and we take the customer through our various platforms that are based around NVIDIA Jetsons, and we understand how many models the customer would like to run, etc. And we also empower the customer with our fleet tracker solution, allowing the customer to maintain the devices for longer time. So SmartCow essentially provides backbone for any smart city or smart retail, smart hospital applications. We provide the hardware, we provide the AI pipelines required, we provide the MLOps pipeline, and we also provide the fleet tracker. So we started the company in 2015 as a security company. We wanted to develop network switches for network security, and we pivoted into video analytics later on. And now I'm happy to say we are one of the largest Jetson node providers in the world, and we are handling some of the largest smart cities right now. Yeah, pretty much that's all from my side. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Mohammed, are you ready?
Yes, absolutely, I'm ready.
Okay, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. This is Mohammed Shahid. I'm the CEO and co-founder of DesX. Hope you can all hear me.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So my journey started very differently. You know, I had a personal accident, and then I thought maybe this is some of the problems that we can solve using image and video analytics. And then we started working on a problem, and from one problem we went on to a second problem and a third problem, and now we are solving lots of problems in the accident space. So just to give you an overview, we are part of the Insurance Authority Sandbox. In the UAE, we are also part of a government incubator program here, which is called the Area 2071. As the objective is to go for startups who are focusing on the next 50 years of technology initiatives, and we are very happy to be part of that initiative. So I will tell you that the basic problem when you are going to build an AI solution is that you have to look at a problem, and then you need to look at what are the other solutions in the market, because definitely you're not the first person who has come across this problem. And then you need to think of a smarter way to solve this problem. Now, for example, smart parkings have been like for the last 5 years, maybe 7 years, people have been talking about it. Now, a big challenge in smart parking is that you have to install sensors. These could be different kinds of sensors, right? And sensors have a cost. Now, take that problem and think, how can I reduce my capex? I don't want my customer to spend money to buy these hardwares, and these hardwares are costly to maintain. So then we thought about the problem, and then we said, why don't you use the existing camera? And without any need of having a new hardware or a software. So we use an existing camera, install an AI engine on top of it, customize a little bit, and then you have a smart parking. It works exactly the same with your sensors. It's much faster, much accurate, and you can refresh it. And it also takes care of different kinds of scenarios. Maybe it's day, maybe it's night, maybe someone else is parking in your place. You can send notifications and triggers, right? So physical parking is converted to a smart parking without any physical installations, a very minimal changes, and you have a smart parking here. So if you look at this parking, this is a live use case which is already deployed. And you can see that this is night and this is a parking in a campus. And the AI is doing a good job, right? You can see the cars wherever you see green dots is empty spaces, and and where you see red dots, this is where your cars are parked. And this is very interesting use case, for example. Now let me take you to further ahead or a different use case per se. This is smart parking, but the objective is a bit different here because people park differently in India per se. But you want people there to park in a specific manner, and then you can use the same solution. And now the same solution is also applied to petrol pumps, where you have these smart petrol pumps, you're using the existing infrastructure, and then you can see what is an average waiting time, how many vehicles are being used, are being filled every day in these smart petrol stations. So there is no higher change in terms of hardware. It's primarily, optimizing the existing hardware and building solutions out of it. So this is a very interesting use case, and it is very close to us, is accidents. So I have just mapped all the accidents in Dubai on a Google map, and I will tell you why it is more important and what we do in terms of, how we make the city more safer and change the whole experience of the consumer. So if you can see, there are so many accidents. Now, if you look at this picture on the map, you feel, oh my God, so many accidents, but this is over a period of time. So, and Dubai, they have the strictest rules for driving. And in Dubai, if you have these many accidents, let's go ahead and see in more detail. If you see here, you can see where these accidents have taken place. And then you can round off and cluster and see what are the most places where you have these accidents. Are these roundabouts, are these corners? And you will see that, most of the places, these are similar kind of accidents, right? And this is a very, very intelligent insight for the police and for the transport authorities to make the roads safer, to put speed limits, to put up advisories that these are the areas where you have higher accidents. So going ahead with accidents is that if you're driving, you must have come across a situation like you're in an accident. And depending on where you are, right, the rules will be different in terms of police report writing, and in terms of your insurance claim filing. And for us in Dubai and in Saudi Arabia also, so we did happen to work with some of the bigger players in Saudi Arabia for similar problems, right? So where you can see that there is an accident that happens, and then you are very upset, and you call the police, and then you call an insurance company, and there is a lot of time which is being wasted. So one of our use cases, to ease the whole experience from the moment you meet with an accident, to automate the entire claim filing process. And we are working with multiple insurance companies in UAE, with multiple government agencies, because there are a lot of people involved in this process. And we make your experience completely seamless. You take photos from the mobile app. This could be also photos taken from a tablet when it goes to a surveyor, and then your claims are instantly being processed. So now think of an insurance company, right? And you're in Middle East. So you have an insurance company who doesn't want to spend a lot of money in terms to change their infrastructure or the software that they're using. So you come in and you provide them a plug and play solution. You plug all the components into their existing system, so they don't have to spend a lot of money to upgrade. But they can use your system because because you implement the technology in such a manner. Now going ahead, let me show you. So we have digitized the whole claim process, from claim filing to the surveyor to the garage. Everybody is connected, and there is an AI engine running at the back end, which is not only collecting data at each and every point, but also making their life much easier. So just on a lighter note, the most challenging conversation I have had is that I walk into a room and I say to the surveyors and the motor claims manager that half of your team is not going to be there. after 1 year of the implementation. And that's a tough sell for a customer, right? Nobody likes to fire employees. But now think of it like this. You go and you say, okay, this is going to help your surveyors. This is going to make your life much easier. What do? You send emails? No, no more emails. You can have it on a small device, So, you are bringing AI, definitely, it's going to, definitely some jobs will be lost, but then you have to pitch in the solution in a manner that, people are willing to take it. Okay, fine, we can try it. So the same technology applied to garages, to check in, check out, to rentals, to check in the car, check out the car. And now think of a scenario where you can reduce the time of recovering money from an accidental customer for a rental from 30 days to seconds. Now this is possible with our technology, because it's digital. You take photos, you get an assessment report of the car at pickup. You drop the car, you have an assessment at the end of the trip again. So the entire process is digital, right? And your recovery time has reduced from anywhere 15 to 30 days to less than 60 seconds. You can charge a customer instantly. So your overall efficiency has gone up. And then you also have a challenge, right? Because this customer is in Dubai, he's standing in the hot sun. Your AI engine has to be very fast. You have to process the image in seconds and give it back to him. So let me share you something that NVIDIA has helped us. So we were having a challenge to scale our model. It was taking, I think, around 5 seconds to process a single image. And then we got the team from AWS, we got a team from NVIDIA to help us optimize the model to find out if it's a AWS issue, is it the installation issue, is there an issue with the AI model itself? And that was very helpful, because somebody could run a model on their side and tell us, okay, for me, the similar model with a different data set is giving me 3 seconds or 2 seconds, and then we would go back and iterate. And then today, our model can process an image in less than 1 to 1.5 seconds. So it's so fast. And now we are not even using NVIDIA's the new GPUs, which is A100s. We are still on V100s. So think of the experience, right? So now you take the picture and instantly you have an assessment. Wow, that's really very exciting. So just to give you some scenarios, and there is also always a human challenge and there is a technology challenge. So you also have to understand, and you need to build a product in a manner, where you are giving a lot of understanding of the customer, how he's going to use the app. So we saw that people were taking pictures in all kinds of ways, near the car, inside the car, outside the car, and whatnot. And when we were working with one of the government customers, we also came across customers, taking pictures of all kinds of objects. And then we had to come up a way that how you would solve this problem. And then we did come and understand that, human challenge. And also when you're doing technology transfer, you need to also explain your customers that this is AI, it's not going to work like perfectly day one. And especially if your people don't know how to use it, it's not going to work. So then you have to also make them understand. It's a very tough transition, but it happens, it takes a while. So if you see these pictures, these are some cars where the AI is able to pick the damages on these vehicles. And now let me take you to something more exciting, and we done on NVIDIA's V100s. And our solutions are deployed today on AWS, Azure, on-prem, and also on private cloud now going forward. And we are also opening up a door with Oracle. So it's cross-platform. So you can deploy everywhere, because in the Middle East, when we started, there was not even one cloud provider with local GPUs. Right? It was very tough. So we were processing our AI is processed in North Virginia, and my customer is in UAE, and I have a legal data restriction that I cannot send my data to the cloud in North Virginia, and very challenging situation. Almost 2.5 years back. Now, luckily, we have cloud here locally, and there are a lot of other companies who have local clouds with GPUs, and that's exciting because that makes our life much easier. And then you also have customers who would love to have their own GPU, and then you say, okay, we can do it. Don't worry about it. So this is also a very exciting space. So now, as we move on and on, right? So I was talking about use case taking a picture from a standalone camera installed from a mobile device. Now we are going more ahead to a drone. We have more challenges here. The drone is flying at a certain speed, and there is only a certain amount of weight that this drone can take, and there is also a power capacity challenge. If your AI is going to, if your hardware is going to take a lot of power, your drone is going to fly for less time, and then the whole overall performance is going down. So now, then we looked at Jetson and other edge devices. Now, if you look at this use case, so one of our customers is using it for wildlife survey, right, in the forest. So you cannot use the cloud because definitely you're flying and you don't know whether your data would be able to, you can send it to the cloud and process and send it back to him in real time. So now we are working with Jetson to do this, right? So in real time. So now the best part for the customer is that he doesn't even need to fly his own drone. He just clicks the button, the drone goes, and end of the day, he gets a report saying, okay, these many animals were counted. He doesn't need to sit and watch the video. So if you look at what we are doing, the complete experience is changing, right? So just to give you some insights, this is for endangered species. So we trained it on one is for counting, one is to make sure they're endangered species. And then you can customize the same AI model to do a lot of other things, right? If these could be used in the large farmhouses, right, where they have to count how many sheep they have, and it makes their life very easy. And think of from a naval perspective, right? You can deploy these drones from a boat, and then it can identify everything, and you don't even have to watch the video at the end of the day, right? So this is what we're trying to do. We are not only solving problems, but we are trying to solve the problems that would occur in the future. Because you will have more and more drones flying, you will have more and more data coming in, and you will need more and more manpower to fly these drones and to then go and look at the video. Now, the entire process has changed. Life is much easier. So without taking more time, I will just show you that we love to work on challenging problems. And I think one of the biggest challenges that for me on a personal level is that, I started my career working on very, very complex problems, doing satellite data analytics, stuff like that. So I love very challenging problems to solve. And I would be happy to collaborate and connect with the team around who would like to explore, what can be done or how they could utilize the technology. And that's it from my side. Thank you, guys, for giving us the opportunity to present.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. It was great to see all your amazing work. So now, if the audience has any question, please go ahead. And please also mention your name, because there is kind of bug and we are not seeing your names. So you can ask question and I will revert back to the speakers. Any question? Yes, hello, you raised your hand, but I don't see your name. You can speak. No question in the audience? I guess there is no question, guys. So
or maybe they're trying to talk and I think they are not able to talk. If you can also type these questions in the chat. We can see the chat. If you have a question you want to ask, you can put it in the chat.
If you raise your hand, I can allow you to talk. Otherwise, you just type in the chat, please.
You can't type.
I have a question. Can you give me your name, please? The question is, does NVIDIA have plans for ledger chips in edge computing?
That's I guess that's a question for me, right?
I guess so, yeah.
I would really love to know the name of the person who's asking, so we can follow up. We can potentially follow up, in a little bit more detail on that, because That's a good question, but I'll need to discuss that internally. How much of our plans we can at the moment we can disclose.
All right.
So let's definitely follow up on that.
All right. For the person who asked the question regarding the chips and the edge computing, can you write down your name, please? I will forward it back to Alexander.
Yes, it's Backdash. I wrote it. It's me, Backdash.
Okay. Okay. Nice to meet you. So I have a question from Ashraf related to home automation and IoT VR control and integration with the cloud GPU automation using Jetson. How this evolving? I guess it's open to anyone for all the speakers. If you have any thoughts or any insight on this.
I would just like to specify maybe the question a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Can you, Ashraf, specify the question? Hello, Manal. Hello, Manal Jalul from Lebanon. Any question from your side?
Yeah, the question of GPU availability is always a challenge. So how does it look, from the PNY perspective?
So it's definitely something that we can discuss, Huda. So if you can get in touch with me directly in the email, I will share my email with you because we are also handling Tunisia and North Africa from Bordeaux. So we can maybe have some solution for you. By the way, I think I know you. I saw you in LinkedIn, so I can get directly in touch with you. Regarding the question for IoT VR control, can you specify the question, please, Ashraf? Okay, here we go. How Jetson integrate with IoT and control using the VR/ER is evolved for home automation?
So Jetson has a wide array of GPIO, and we can use the GPIO to connect with IoT devices. It's pretty straightforward. Most of the Jetson devices come with I2C, SPI, UART, or serial. So this can be pretty much very easily integrated with any existing IoT devices which has similar functionalities.
Thank you, Ravi.
Ravi, how about controlling it using VR/AR? I think Ashraf is especially interested in the part where you can integrate it with VR and IR. Do you have an experience with that?
We did build a hardware using for VR using Jetson, but it's more complex. So
yeah.
So Jetson supports a DSI output. DSI is a screen that's typically used in smart cameras or touch panels in industrial automation. We did build a VR goggles using Jetson platform, but I don't think Ashraf means it. So we did build it, but I don't think it's a.
Any other question?
Maybe he means Omniverse. Maybe Ashraf means he's talking about Omniverse, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's a good, that is clearly an Omniverse discussion there. So we'll have the discussion, Ashraf. I think I know which direction you're going. So yeah. I see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I see another question. I'd like to ask about the Jetson device that PNY is using for driver monitoring.
So where is it? This question. I'd like to ask about Jetson device that PNY is using for driver monitoring. So basically, as PNY, we are delivering development kits, especially for research center universities, to do prototyping for everything regarding autonomous car. So I can definitely share with you all the specification of the development kit that we have. And if you have some advanced project, I can also link you with the team in NVIDIA in charge of AGX Drive. So I will write you also my email. You can directly get in touch with me in this.
So I can add something to this. So the driver monitoring.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're talking about driver behavior monitoring, you have to always look at what exactly are you trying to do. So are you want to just monitor the driver's behavior for an insurance perspective? That is how well you are driving your car. Are you taking harsh turns, or you're driving for further distances? Then you are using ideally the mobile devices, right? And then there is a scenario that you want to install a device into the car, which is called like an onboard diagnostic or a driver behavior monitoring device. You can do something very simple. You can connect these devices and then connect to an app on the mobile phone, and then do the processing on the cloud. Because you don't want to actually install a Jetson device in the car or in the truck per se, right? So we did a lot of work in this segment, wherein we realized that it's much smarter way. If it's a very simple use case, they want to know just how well the driver is driving, just for insurance perspective. It makes a lot more sense to just use the mobile phone data which you are capturing. And if you want to go to the next step, if you want to see if he's doing a harsh braking for predictive maintenance, then you can still use the small devices. It's a onboard diagnostic devices which are primarily available. You can connect these devices, connect it to the Bluetooth. There is a small device which can transmit to the Bluetooth to your phone, and then with the phone you're pushing it to the cloud and doing all the processing on the cloud. And it gives a very good results, because you are getting the same data being monitored here, and you can process this. And because a lot of time your customers don't want to carry something in their car. If it's a taxi company, yes, of course they're fine with having bigger installations. So this is one of the approaches that you can take. Simplify the usage of hardware as much as possible, so it will be much easier for you to deploy. And edge devices, use those edge devices only when you want to you want to do high performing computing. Let's say if you're running a video feed, right, because you want to process that in real time.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Any other questions? Or any other something to add from the speakers?
I would like to add, okay, we do have Jetson Nano, the low cost, low wattage computing platform, which we do use in a lot of taxi companies and cars. We do have one of the NVIDIA partner who is using it close to 20,000 trucks for driver monitoring. So the Jetson the edge devices can be used in scenarios where the connectivity might be a problem. Definitely, I think, you definitely can send the video to cloud and process there and accumulate insights at the same place. And if there is a challenge of connecting to the cloud 24/7, the edge device would be a right option. It processes the device locally, it streams some metadata, thus you conserve the bandwidth. And this will be particularly important in case you are maintaining a fleet where you have a few hundred or few dozen vehicles, and you have to account the bandwidth costs when you are streaming such data over a large number of vehicles. But yes, for individual vehicles, it's fine. We can stream the data to cloud and process on the cloud. But I do think Edge has a lot of use case value, even at the individual level.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thanks.
So I would like to add one more point. For example, there was a question regarding non-availability of GPUs in your region. So we found a workaround for this problem. For example, if you don't have your GPU is, let's say, Frankfurt, and you're based in Tunisia, and you have maybe legal restrictions that allow around data, that you cannot send data outside the country, then what you could do is you have to find a way of ripping off the personally identifiable information. So for example, if it's a car, you could be hiding the number plate of this particular car, right? And then you can run a micro model, which can run on your basic server, which is going to do this hiding of information. This is anonymizing the data, and then you can process this data over cloud and then send the response back to the customer. This is also a workaround, because even if you're looking at GDPR compliance, or if you're looking for any local data regulatory challenges, then they do allow you to have PIF RIP data to be processed outside the country. Right? And yeah, and also it's a very tough situation, and we have gone through it, when we have to do with this kind of automation. So that's it from my side.
Thank you, Mohammed. We have a question for you, Alexander.
Yep.
It's a question for Alexander. Maybe it's not related to the topic, but did you have any application of NVIDIA GPUs in raster data processing, satellite images?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, that absolutely. We actually there's several startups that are in the program. I can't name them, unfortunately. I first need to, get their approval to share any information. But to answer your question shortly, concisely, yes, yes, the GPUs are applied in processing satellite imagery.
All right, thank you.
And we can also, if I know the name of the person who is asking, maybe we can also take it offline, right, and follow up on this a little bit. Yes. So please write your name, and we'll have that discussion. Oh yeah, Fabian.
And from my side, even we have tried using GPUs to process satellite imagery for a couple of use cases, just like proof of concept. But yeah, you're using GPUs, NVIDIA GPUs for that.
All right. Okay, thank you, Manal. We are just asking for the name because we have a bug. We are seeing all the audience as one person, so that's why we are asking each time about the names. Sorry about that. Question, is DGX Drive a deployment platform in vehicle or only for development? What's the operating temperature for DGX Drive? So actually, I can answer a part of it. If Alexander can answer the rest, it's EGX Drive, and it's a development kit, definitely. After that, I'm not sure about temperature, the operating temperature, but I can check from my end if Alexander have anything.
Yeah, the operating temperature is a good question, because I think it would actually depend on how you're using it. I would say we could follow up with our Drive team. Actually, maybe both of us, right? You, Mohammed, and I,
yes,
and myself. We can try and find the answer to that. But my answer now would be, it depends. I think it's always good to start with how you want to use it, in what kind of environment, right? How intensely you want to use it. And that would impact the operating temperature as well. Absolutely. But that question, I've heard that question. It's you're not the only one who is concerned about it. So good question.
But Alexander, it's right to say that it's not deployment platform; it's a development kit, right?
Yeah,
we are definitely on that.
Definitely. There, you're completely right. It is not a deployment platform. Yeah.
So after you develop the same person, so Manal. So after you develop on the Drive, you can deploy on the EGX Xavier, for example.
That would be one option. Yeah, I think this is actually the deployment. What happens after you test it on the Drive. That is a question for definitely for our drive team. So if we're speaking about deployments, then that would be you know a significant scale. That would be probably with the tier ones or the maybe actually the some of the bigger automotives out there. So this is this is, I would say, a little bit goes beyond what we see and how we work with startups. But yeah, AGX Xavier would be one way to go for the deployment. Yeah.
And Manal, please, if you want to reach out directly, we can even put you in loop with the drive team in Europe with no issue with that.
I think this would be actually good for you to speak directly to the drive team. Yeah, you're right. A lot of pre-trained models are just part of the drive suite. Yeah. But then also when you go into the deployment, right? Once again, it is usually a very special case. So in that case, we're talking about a deep cooperation between NVIDIA and maybe one of the bigger tier ones, and then things become possible. But when we're talking about the standard drive platform, when you want one unit and you have one test car, it's a first step. And when we're talking about, of course, the massive deployment, then there's a different conversation where you know things might be possible that are not just possible on a one-off. But yeah, I don't want to speak for the automotive team. It's a really specific question, and I think we should have that. We should arrange that with the drive team. But good, excellent questions, Mano.
Thank you, Manal. Any other question in the audience? We still have 2 minutes. So yes, Manal, we will get in touch. I have your email, you have mine, and we can quickly have a meeting or call, and we can discuss furthermore.
Yep.
No worries. Any last word from the speakers? Alexander, Sajad, Ravi, Mohammed.
I just want to thank you all guys for being with us. Amazing presentations. I love them all, literally. So for the startups, you're our great members. So I love you guys. For Sajad, hope to actually do more with you in the future. You're some of the startups that you showed are definitely would be great fit for Inception. So let's do stuff together. And yeah, that will be my few cents. So thanks everyone.
Sajad, please go ahead.
No, again, thank you. I think it was really exciting to hear Ravi and Mohammed and hear about the startups, and obviously Alex with the NVIDIA program, and thank you, Mohammed, and part of PNY, what you guys are doing and sort of enabling access to NVIDIA in the region. So excited, encourage anybody to stay in touch or reach out. I mean, the pie is quite large, so I think we should all collaborate and work together to move this new world that we're stepping into with like intelligent machines and autonomous vehicles and autonomous services across the board. So feel free to reach out, and we should have more community engagement, I would say. There's a lot to kind of learn and share from each other. So thank you again.
Thank you, Sajad. Ravi, anything? Last word before the end? Thank you, Ravi. Mohammed.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and happy to hear from about Sajad's initiative, Taka Center. I was not aware of that. I was only aware of the SDAI, the Saudi Data AI Authority. And I was very happy to hear about what you guys are doing. Excellent work, especially in Saudi Arabia. It's very tough. I know we have been working there. And it was great sharing our experience and talking to everyone. Good questions from the audience. Thank you. Thank you guys for inviting us for that call.
Thank you, Mohammed. For my end, I would like to thank you very much, Alexander, for all your help, your support organizing this, and hopefully we'll have much more collaboration in the future. Sajad, it was great to have you with us. I know that a lot of people in our entourage ask us a lot of questions about the data center, and definitely, hopefully, we'll go with other collaboration in the future, more technical maybe in the future. Ravi, thank you. It's always great to have you. Your startup is booming, and I'm glad to be in contact with you. Mohammed, it's great to have this first collaboration, and I'm pretty sure we will have much more in the future. Thank you for the audience. It was a little bit challenging to organize this this evening after the fasting break, but I really enjoyed this webinar. All the talks were amazing, and hopefully there will be a follow-up for everything. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.